Believe I am now live across Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. If you could all say hello to me so I know that you're there and you can see me, that would be great. Okay. I've got an amazing moderator on Instagram. Her name is Lisa, and she's from Glen Burnie, Maryland, in the United States. And I've got an amazing moderator on TikTok called Danielle, and she is from Montreal, Canada, and we're happy with the comments, but as soon as you guys, anybody spews garbage, they will block you. And you're going to miss out on a great show. And this is episode 23. Wow, who knew that we would make it here? Lisa, you can start blocking people immediately, because this guy's just, using foul language and stuff and spamming. I would like you to all like and share the live. That would really, really help me out. Here we are, Watchman'S Hour, the Watchman'S Hour, Roshan Mawani, episode 23. Let me read you some stats, and let's begin the conversation this way. So, on Monday, I had clients, okay? First thing Monday morning before I'd even opened, they lined up outside, okay? And they kept coming in, which is great, awesome, touch wood, I'm not complaining. I will answer all your questions at the end of the stream. Please stay with the stream. Please like and share the live across all three platforms. And I will gladly have a great conversation with you. I mean that. So Monday I had clients making purchases from Russia. I know all of you in the West hate Russia. But China is very welcoming to Russia. So you can keep the hate going. I had clients from Russia, multiple clients from the United States, multiple clients from England, client from Singapore, client from the Philippines, multiple clients from Australia, client from Germany, Costa Rica, Guangzhou, Egypt, and Denmark. Let me repeat that, okay? All right. On Monday, clients were bursting through, and they were from Russia, multiple from the United States, multiple from England, Singapore, Philippines, multiple from Australia, Germany, Costa Rica, Guangzhou, Egypt, and Denmark. And these are all clients making purchases, okay? Making purchases and stuff. Not fucking coming in to come and look at my pretty hair and so forth. On Tuesday, I had new clients purchasing from Hong Kong, Dubai, multiple ones from the United States, multiple ones from England, and a client from Sweden. I'll stop counting them, but give you a highlight. Wednesday, I had a client from Yemen, okay? Thursday, I had a client from Mexico. Saturday, I had a client from Qatar. Okay, and then I couldn't keep track because I had so many clients, and by the end of the week, by Saturday, I did not engage with any new clients, all right, which is my job, because I was handling all the orders that I had taken during the week. So of course it was a great week, right? And I still won't say that it was better than pre-pandemic, but it was a great week. So let's, how do we define that externally from me and stuff and put it out to you guys? Well, stemming back to like the late 1990s when Microsoft and Bill Gates introduced Rest on Friday, people have been depicting, predicting, talking about, insisting, barking about the death of the suit. And I mean, here I am, 26 years into my work here at Sam Stater, where I'm making suits for everyone. And during the pandemic, I was making suits and clothing for people that I had never met ever in my life. Moderators, could you answer the questions, saying that I will answer the questions at the end of the stream once I'm done with my monologue? So, no, unfortunately, there is no boom, death of the suit, right? People are still wearing suits no matter what. I'm here 26 years on the job. A couple of years ago, I bought a car that cost me $1 million Hong Kong just a year ago. A couple of years before that, I bought a thoroughbred horse, which won 5 times. You know what I'm saying? Like, things are not as good as pre-pandemic, but that wasn't my fault. You know what I mean? China was closed up for 3 years. It has been a patchy pickup post-pandemic, but people are still wearing suits. They're buying suits, they're buying jackets, and these are men and women, and these are young people. So I had clients from Switzerland, but I think they shopped in the last week, and I mentioned them, and one of them was in the early 20s, and one of them was in the early teens, okay? And so it goes on and it goes on and it goes on. And, considering that I've added Egypt to the list this week, I had someone from Yemen, which was very interesting. I've had Mexican clients for years, someone from Mexico that's come in, someone from Qatar that's come in. I had someone from Qatar come in last month. It has been sensational, and it has been a big F you to everybody. You know what I mean? To everybody, to the broadcasters, to the CNN and BBC who have interviewed me intimately over the years, to the South China Morning Post and other news agencies that have interviewed me intimately over the last 25 years, saying, don't you think that the suit's going to die? And I've always said, no chance. I've always said that maybe people are wearing suits less, not me. I'm wearing them more. But more people are wearing suits. And you've heard me say that over and over and over and over again. And that's part of life. And if you can't conform to the fact that you still got to wear a suit, all right, that there's still going to be a need for a suit, if you don't conform to that, you're going to end up with occasions in your career that you don't have a suit. And if you attend something without a suit, you're going to look like an asshole. Doesn't matter how smart you are and how rich you are. And that's basically it. And look, I'm a big fan of Mark Zuckerberg. I'm not necessarily a fan of his policies on Meta, and I'm not a fan of the community guidelines on Meta. I'm not a fan of the community guidelines of Instagram and stuff. I don't understand how they operate. I don't understand how they can't see parody. I don't understand how they allow Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon, Al to operate in their country on national TV, free-to-air TV and stuff. But they hamper so many of my videos and have, banned me so many times when I'm doing parodies as well. I genuinely believe it's a China thing, you know what I mean? And it's the same with TikTok, which is, the American version that I use here. I think it's complete anti-China rhetoric always. But the suits are here to stay. And, speaking of Jimmy Kimmel, speaking of Jimmy Fallon and all, forget Seth Meyers. Aren't they wearing a suit when they're presenting? Isn't everyone in the White House wearing a suit? Goodness me, don't you see President Trump, Sir Keir Starmer, every leader across the world except for President Zelensky wearing a suit? I'm sorry, the suit is here to stay. Okay? So all you naysayers about the death of a suit and, a suit not being essential and stuff, I mean, you're wasting your time, right? You're wasting your time barking nonsense. You know what I mean? Utter nonsense. All the time, nonsense. And I'm telling you, right, that I have a massive shield for garbage. Okay, so you might as well enjoy what I talk about, learn from me. You know what I mean? I'm an avid speaker. I'm a renowned speaker, and I've spoken globally. So it's better that you learn from me, that you sit and listen and learn from me, or just tune out and stuff. But by making ridiculous statements that nobody's going to wear a suit, you just sound stupid. Okay. My success is testament to that. I just was in London, and there's so many stores on Savile Row, and everyone in London is wearing a suit or a blazer. I've talked about this in the past. So it's just nonsensical what you're saying. Now, I get a lot of comments from women. I got a lot of love from women, DMs and stuff, right? Saying that, I love you, I love you, I love your videos, I love you, I love you. These are young women. Harj, I hope you stay for the whole stream, brother. But I'm a girl, I can't wear a suit. I said, that's nonsense. I mean, just search hashtag Sam's Muse on Instagram. And how many women do I work with? This week, I worked with a woman from Costa Rica, and I'm making her 3 incredible off-the-hook suits, okay? Just incredible suits, all right? And then I worked with a woman from Sweden, and I'm making her the most beautiful raw silk Nehru collared jacket with handmade frog buttons. Okay, I mean, what artistry. And I'm going to get to another story later about another woman that I've started to work with this week, which is a real boon for me. But you know what? I might as well get to that story right now. On October 1st, I attended a reception thrown by John Lee, our leader here in Hong Kong, to celebrate the 76th anniversary of the establishment of the People's Republic of China as we know it, okay? And I had talked about this maybe before, maybe during, maybe after, that we have a new American consulate general to Hong Kong, okay? And those of you who follow me avidly know that the last American consulate general to Hong Kong, a guy called Greg May, he came to my shop to buy a suit. We grew to be friends. He came to my shop to buy another suit. We became better friends. Came to my shop to buy another suit. I think we did a video the first time ever we met, and that was fine. And then I met him at the Rugby Sevens, and we did a video then. I think I met him at the Rugby Sevens again. We did a video then. 3 times in a row for the 3-year tenure that he was here. He invited me to his 4th of July celebration, which I attended. I was very chuffed about that. Broadcasted from all 3 of the events, so this can all be seen on my Instagram. And I also took him and his wife for dinner towards the end of his tenure. And we had a great time in one of my favorite restaurants that I have broadcasted from many times, called Gaylord. So on October 1st, prior to October 1st, the new American Consul General to Hong Kong that has replaced Greg May is a woman called Julie Ide. I'm not sure how to pronounce her last name, okay? She's a Caucasian woman. And she had worked in Hong Kong previously in a lesser role, but she is quite heralded. I think she's a career diplomat. I think she's worked for the State Department of the United States entire career. And she has been Consul General to the United States to, is it Istanbul or was it another city in Turkey? But it wasn't. If the capital of Turkey is Istanbul, then it's another city in Turkey. It's not Istanbul. But if it's the capital city of Turkey, it's not Istanbul, then it was Istanbul. It's a pretty great posting. Well, now she's here in Hong Kong, and on October 1st, prior to October 1st, she was summoned at least once, potentially twice, by the Chinese government, telling her off pretty much, okay? And you know I'm pro-China in every ways, right? I'm pro-home, I'm pro-power, I'm pro-proximity and stuff. Capital is in Ankara. Great, thank you so much, Freddie. That means she was Consul General to Istanbul. And so she was told off because at her party that she threw, her reception that she threw to establish herself here, she had invited some people formerly from government, wanting to be in government, that are anti our government. And the Chinese government said, look, you're here, you've just come, why are you doing stuff like this? You know what I'm saying? We don't want trouble, okay? And this is not what we want you to do. We welcome you here to our city and stuff, and suddenly you want to hang out with the people that are anti our city, even though they live here. And you know I'm not a big fan of people who are anti our city who live here. Are you guys watching the Watchman'S Hour shorts? Please subscribe to the Watchman'S Hour page. It's on Instagram, it's on TikTok, it's on YouTube, okay? And so she was probably, you know, if you want to meet her, she might be a bit persona non grata. You know, according to people in the West, they believe that if you hang out with this person, the Chinese government, who's watching everybody supposedly, is going to kidnap you and put you in jail and something. So I saw her from afar, and I went up to her and I said, "Hi, ma'am, are you the new Consul General of the United States to Hong Kong? This is October 1st. My father was with me. And she's like, "Yes, I am." I said, "Hi, I'm Roshan Nalwani of Sam Sailor." And her response was like, and her and her husband were there. I didn't know it was her husband at the time. In unison, they go, "Oh, the infamous Sam Sailor." And I didn't know what they meant by that. But the fact that they knew about my business, I was very, very, very happy. And I introduced my father to them. And I said to her, "May I take a photo with you?" And she's like, "Sure you can, but are you sure you want to do that? You might get in trouble." Okay? Something along those lines, all right? And I said, "Okay, maybe we want to take a photo." Then we're chatting for a minute or two, chatting with her husband for a minute or two. And then I said to her, "You know what, let's take a photo." You know what I mean? Maybe I won't post it. So I took a photo. And then we're chatting for another minute or two, with her husband for a minute or two. And then I said, "You know what, let's do a video. Maybe I won't post it." So I did a short video with her. And that video is part of a longer video. And I said, "Maybe I won't post it." And then end of the conversation, I said to her that, "You know what, I'm going to post it." She goes, "You sure you won't get in trouble?" I said, "Trouble for what? For welcoming a new guest to Hong Kong?" You know what I mean? I'm a Hong Kong citizen. I'm born and bred in Hong Kong. I'm Mr. Hong Kong, right? I get accused of, of blindly following President Xi. I mean, why wouldn't I blindly follow President Xi? He's my president, right? I choose to live in Hong Kong. Why would I not blindly follow my leader? You know what I mean? He's not doing anything to me. You know what I'm saying? My government's not doing anything to me. My government's allowing me to work freely. The only time my government didn't allow me to work freely is during the pandemic, and then I got destroyed, right? But I didn't move. I ate the pain. I lost 20 years worth of savings to keep my business going, and I ate the pain, and then I'm here. Okay, so pretty much I had a great chat with her, and it was nothing more than piercing the surface. And my father goes to her husband, "Can I have your mobile number?" And husband, in unison, husband looked irked, and then I sort of like didn't touch my dad, but I sort of just motioned to him go away. So me and my dad are walking back to work, and he's telling me, "You stupid, you should have gotten the number this." I said, "Papa, I can't ask for someone's mobile number, okay?" And so forth. And I said, "Papa, you should have told me to hand out my business card to them." For some reason, I had forgotten to, all right? I was so enamored with meeting her. And he's telling me you're stupid and I would have done it this way, this, that. And I said, you know what, let me fucking make it happen my way. And I'll make it happen my way. And I'm going to tell you how I made it happen. But lo and behold, this week I have worked with her and her husband. And I'm making them both clothes. And she is a woman. And I'm just going to hold off the details at the bottom. So no doxing. But you can see the emblem in the United States. And you can see her name. And you can see her title. See the emblem in the United States, you can see a name, you can see a title, you can see the emblem in the United States, you can see a name, you can see a title. And what does the actual business card say? Well, it says, Consulate General of the United States of America, Hong Kong and Macau, Julie Ide, Consul General, okay? And it's got the USA, whatever, I don't know if that's the State Department emblem or whatever it may be. But hey, another coup for me, right? And look, let's just put it this way, right? As I've said so many times over and over, right? She could have gone, if she wanted a tailor, if they both wanted a tailor, they could have gone to any tailor, okay? If I'm really such a bad guy, right, then why would they come to me? They've just moved to Hong Kong. There's a ton of tailors here, okay? She's obviously the Consulate General of the United States to Hong Kong. So she's worked for a very long time to attain this position. He's also a career diplomat, her husband, okay? So obviously they have disposable income. Obviously they can purchase stuff anywhere, right? Yet they still chose to come to me, all right? So you have to understand that, you know, I'm talking to everybody here, the people in Hong Kong, the friends that I've shared, the people globally, the naysayers, and so forth. I'm like, look, you can paint whatever picture you want of me. I'm talking about the school that my kids go to, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? They're all not a big fan of me either, all right? Yeah, and I just want to make that point, screen record it and pump it out that the school that I went to, which my children go to, are not a big fan of me under this current regiment, okay, under this current regiment, which is new. But the bottom line is that I will tell you, right, that those of you, and I'm talking about everybody out there, I'm talking about globally, I'm talking about friends that I've shared, I'm talking about community, I'm talking about Hong Kongers and stuff. If you really think, okay, that you're going to buy in to the touching videos and the young Chinese boy and the hanger stuff, right? And say that you're going to judge me based on that, right? And you're going to ignore all my other content and all my relevant work and all my real live clients, okay? You're going to position yourself there, right? Then you are bloody stupid, okay? You are so stupid that it is just incredible. I've never met any people this stupid in my life. So what I tell you, what I've been telling you forever is that people come to me not because I worked with President Clinton, and not because I worked with President Bush, and not because I worked with President Bush Jr., and not because I worked with Russell Crowe, and not because I worked with Alan Shearer, not because I worked with Les Ferdinand, not because I worked with Imagine Dragons, and not because I worked with Kevin Spacey, and not because I worked with Sigourney Weaver. Should I stop now? Should I stop now? Okay? People come to me, okay? These people from this week, Russia, USA, England, Singapore, Philippines, Australia, Germany, Costa Rica, Guangzhou, Egypt, Denmark, Dubai, Sweden, Yemen, Mexico, goodness me. They come to me because I make great suits, okay? All right? And that's the bottom line, right? You can say to yourself, oh, I'm put off by the guy. Put off for what? Put off for what? I'm a wholesome guy. I'm a God-loving guy. I'm a government-serving guy. And I love my children. Okay? Okay? And that's basically it. And I lay myself bare to you guys. And then if you ask me, why did you do some of these young Chinese boys videos? And why do you do? And I'll tell you, right? It's very simple. I'm a fucking genius. All right? I used an extremely funny way, okay, an extremely original way, all right, to hook young people globally. I'm talking about the globe because of, you know, all the parody videos they did, and introduced, not reintroduced, introduced an entire genre, an entire generation of youngsters to the suit and what the suit is. And that's pretty much it. Now, they may not buy a suit from me now when they're 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Although, as you can see from my videos, people are buying suits from me all time, every day when they're 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay? But I've inserted myself into the minds of everyone. And I've said countless of times, wherever you are in the world, if someone asks you about a tailor, you'll think of me first. You may hate me. You may not recommend me, but you will think of me. But these youngsters will grow up thinking of me, okay? And these youngsters will come and buy a suit from me. And that's the truth. And that's the truth. So what I have done, I should be given an award for. You know what I mean? Like how little CNN was in Kuwait broadcasting when Iraq invaded. Here's version of Sam Taylor broadcasting when China, okay, is in complete lockdown because of COVID. I made a bold decision to create a character, invent a persona. And it worked. It worked tremendously well. It worked extremely, tremendously well. And, my business survived. And now I'm hoping that it will continue to thrive and I can make back the losses that I did. Keep building my business. Hopefully build it back to what it was. And then, there's something for my kids to take over if they want to take over. So, my message to all of you is watch my content, learn from my content, laugh at my content, okay? All right? Watch my life, okay? I'm so open. See how I live life. You may not approve of it, okay? See how I am with my children. You may not approve of it, but at least see how I am. Many of you won't have kids. Many of you have young kids and stuff. See how I am as a father. See how I am as a businessman. And see the knack that I have of getting famous people, whether they're in politics, performing arts like music and TV and movies, or athletes, always into my store, okay? I say to myself that in addition to the virtual tailor, I am the suit whisperer, but I'm also the celebrity tailor and the TikTok tailor, okay? And that's me, okay? Not this week, but the week before and the week before that, I did a bunch of live streams again, right? Which I hadn't done for a long time, live stream with clients and stuff. Because I knew I was having slow mornings. But I'm still talking to clients on video, just like I was doing before COVID struck, when I was talking to clients on video privately. And just to give you an insight, in the last couple of days, I started work for a client in Ireland, okay? And he's paid me for a two-piece suit, $14,000 Hong Kong, okay? You're always asking about prices, gives you an idea. I've worked with a client in New York City, and I've made him a suit for 7,500 Hong Kong. And these are spectacular suits in beautiful brands, all right? And then I've worked with a client in the United Kingdom who saw my new Diwali suit. And I've made him with the same fabric, but a different style, different lining, right? His new suit. He's a doctor in the United Kingdom. Okay, is somebody there? Okay, so, he saw I've done it again. My staff tell me always, boss, every time you make a new suit, at least one person will ask for the new suit, okay? I've then worked with a woman in Australia to make her a new jacket. And then I've worked with a man who I think is in Ohio, United States, or there or thereabouts, to make a new jacket. And I've worked with a guy who lives in Los Angeles to make him two suits and a coat. So I think that was my week of video calls. No, there is definitely more. I'm missing out on one order. It's a guy, I'm not sure, I think he's in the west coast of the United States. I'm making him a gorgeous red velvet jacket and burgundy trousers. So the video work is still alive, right? I just may not be live streaming it, right? But I'm doing it. I can't live stream because my clients outside and my staff are taking care of my clients and stuff. So I have two girls in here, two staff members in here, and one will hold the camera and one will make my notes and cut fabrics. But I can't I can't be live streaming outside with 2, 3, 4 people holding cameras and 2, 3 people making notes and stuff. So I'm doing what I've always said that I've been doing, but in my office. I'm doing what I've always said that I've been doing since Skype came out, which I think is 2003, 2004. Following it on to FaceTime, following it on to to WhatsApp video now and stuff, right? I am the world's original virtual tailor, and you can shit on me all you want, and you can predict the downfall of me as much as you want, okay? But the bottom line is this, right? I'm thriving, not just surviving. And when I had nothing during the pandemic, I fucking survived like a mofo. I redefined my business. I reinvented my business, and I'm so proud of myself. You know what I mean? I should, people should laud me with business awards. You know what I mean? The South China Morning Post should just hand me a business award for what I did. You know what I mean? The Hong Kong government should give me a Medal of Honor. I mean, my father has a Medal of Honor for what I did. So that's me. That's me. And so, sticks and stones also will not break my bones, because I'm a very tough guy. Okay. And words hurt and stuff, but I'll deal with it. But I'm never going to conform, and I'm never going to give in to the overwhelming amount of hate, the overwhelming amount of advice, which have negative connotations, the package hate. That's just not me. You know what I mean? I walk the streets and everyone wants to take a selfie with me. It's part of life. You know what I'm saying? So I got to do what I got to do. I'm not going to sit and follow somebody. I'm not going to listen to my dad. I'm going to listen to my wife. I'm going to listen to my fucking best friend and have them tell me what I should do for my business when they're not even fucking working in my business, and when they're not even fucking helping me with my business. Okay? You understand what I'm saying? How can you follow advice from someone who's not working for you, working with you, working over you? You know what I mean? Doesn't matter how close they are. You know what I mean? I mean, they're fucking stupid. Look, I made some notes last week, but I just talked all about China last week. And I wanted to talk a bit about Rian first. Now, all my papers are in a bit of a fuck up. Now, look, someone said, are you reading notes and stuff? And I was like, no, they're just bits and bobs of stuff that I jotted down. But this is from last week. But I want to talk about my son. And then I want to talk about my daughter. And then I want to talk about my children. Okay? And let's talk about my son first, because he is the most known of the three kids. Now, I have three children, Serena, Sari, and Rian. And I get asked a lot online. And I get asked in person as well. Where's your oldest child? Oh, you have oldest child? So, like, a close friend of mine who buys suits from me and stuff, and also someone with package hate who I've shared as a friend, asked me in the week, he's like, where's your tall, thin daughter? You know what I mean? This is how he talks. He goes, I see the chubby one all the time. I see your son all the time. Where's your tall, thin daughter? Is she here? I said, she's here. He goes, how come I don't see her? I said, because she's social media shy, or she doesn't like social media, or she doesn't want to be on social media. That's it. You know what I mean? Everybody is different. Everybody's different. And so forth. But let's talk about Rian, okay? So I've talked about this often, and I'll just give you a recap that Rian spent 2 days with me at Christmas, 1 day at Chinese New Year, 11 days at Easter, 11 days at summer here in the shop, and then a bunch of days in London working with me, right? The evolution of Rian is incredible, okay? And I cannot be more proud of my son. I mean, the guy is brilliant. We all know he's a cricket star. This season, he's added soccer to his repertoire. He's a great swimmer because of me, right? He's a great all-round kid. He's a very confident kid in school. He's a very popular kid in school. And that's twofold, because I taught him how to be confident. I taught him how to be brave. I taught him how to be aggressive. And, of course, everyone knows who his dad is, right? You know what I'm saying? Fuck with a kid whose father is me, right? But the evolution of him is just iconic, and he spent another 3.5 days working with me here over the Mid-Autumn Festival break, all right? The video of the last day, which was this last Monday, is just superb. He surprises me, okay? Me even. It's insane. And the boy is a suit horse. And I could see this, and I promise you this. He's a suit horse, all right? And it's a beautiful thing. Let me try and explain it to you, okay? First, I give you the present, and then I try and work backwards, okay? This boy loves his suits, and he is greedy in a good way for more and more suits. I've resisted saying this to anybody. This is the first time I'm saying this. I haven't said this to him. I haven't said this to his mother. Resisted saying this to anyone until I'm saying it openly now to all of you. The way he looks after his suits, and I mean, you've got to be dumb and stupid, okay, if you haven't seen Rian's videos, right? And you should all go and follow at Rian Melwani on Instagram, because eventually I'll be banned off every platform, right? And I'll start broadcasting from Rian's platform. His platform is pure clean, and it doesn't feature me at all, okay? The way he looks after his suit, I mean, I come home, I take my fucking suit, I throw it on a chair, and my housekeeper will take care of it. The way he looks after his suits, his shirts, and his shoes, his dress shoes, they're all Cole Haans, right? Is just incredible. And now his watches, I bought him 2 Walla watches, okay? One is a complete one-of-one. It's a mini version of one of my watches, not this one. And the other one is another one from their website and stuff. And I know the owner, and so he hand delivers to me and stuff, and I pay him by credit card through PayPal. And so now I've added these 2 watches to his repertoire as well, and he takes such great care of his watches also, meticulously. Obviously, he's always had the best Nikes. I bought him a couple of Armani sneakers in London and stuff, but let's move away stuff that's not Sam's related, all right? But the guy, though, he cleans and packs and puts away his suits, his shirts, his watches, his dress shoes for work, anything related to Sam's Tailor. He takes so fucking seriously, and he's 13 years old, and he hasn't been taught to do these things. And it's just remarkable, okay? It's just remarkable. And anything I buy him, so like the jeans that I buy him, like the jeans I bought him in London, you know, Armani jeans, jeans from Frey, jeans from Seven and stuff, and the tops that I buy him, he takes such great care of them, okay? Because they're all branded stuff. And, you know, having a son like him is such a treat. And being able to share him growing up with you guys, I really hope you appreciate it. You know what I mean? Like, and don't say thanks to me. I say thanks to you. And I mean that. I hope you appreciate that I share my son's entire evolution with you. It's there from day one, go back to Facebook, okay? I hope you appreciate that. But I'm not asking for thanks, okay? I'm saying to you that I hope you appreciate that I am bold enough, willing enough, while still being wary of sharing my son's entire development with you guys. And you can see his entire journey, and it's so super wholesome, so super cute, so super genuine, so super innocent, okay? And I don't know if there's anything else out there. I mean, there's the Kardashians, obviously, but that's a bit more wilder. And I love the Kardashians. I love them because they're so fucking brave. And so forth. And you know what I mean? I'm not asking for thanks, but go ahead and appreciate what I do, and go ahead and appreciate Rian. And all of you, he doesn't post often, but see what he posts and see the innocence and see his evolution between videos. So he's at Rian Melwani on Sam's Tailor, on Instagram. And I encourage you to go and follow him. And I'm telling you again, I will say it again and again, being able to share him growing up with the world is a very special thing for me, okay? So whilst I want you to appreciate me, but not thank me, I also want to tell you thank you for those who do watch him. I'm grateful to you guys. All the adults that are watching may or may not appreciate what I'm saying. It doesn't matter to me. How you want to look after your children is how you want to look after your children, right? I'm not judging you, right? This was a long, slow decision for me whether I want to open up an Instagram account for Rian. And I asked him multiple times. So I never pushed him. I asked him about 6 times over 6 months this year. And when he was ready, he was ready. And he's not keen on sitting down every day and posting stuff. And if he was, we'd be posting stuff every day. We'd posted something for the first few days, whatever he decided. Now he's not so excited anymore. He's a kid, right? But it's there. And it will become huge. I guarantee you that. So whilst there's not much stuff to scroll back on right now, maybe about 50 posts, go ahead and watch your 50 posts. What are they going to take you? 50 minutes at the most? And you're going to be in chuckles. I guarantee you that, okay? I guarantee you that, okay? I promise you. I am very insistent that my children look absolutely brilliant, okay? A long time ago, and I've said this, like if the children came down and they're passing by the shop to go on, they're wearing slippers or what the fuck you guys call them, flip-flops, right? And shorts and a jersey or something, or a t-shirt. I'm like, listen. I stopped the housekeeper. I said, my children cannot leave the house like this. Again, screen record it, send it everywhere with your hate, okay? Screen record it, send it everywhere with your hate. When my father looks at me and I'm making another suit, all right? I have a lot of suits, but that doesn't mean I'm making a suit every day or even making a suit every month. I make less than 6 suits a year, but I wear a suit 6 days a week. He always has a dirty look, except for the gifts that he gives me, which I've stopped recently. I say to the staff around, right, that he can say whatever he wants, but ultimately I'm on people's screens every day, and I'm meeting people every day, every single day, right? I need to keep my suit wardrobe up. All right? I need to keep my suit wardrobe up. And there's no drip like Rihanna's. I mean, you forget about my drip. Rihanna's drip is huge. So I told my housekeepers a long time ago, look, kids are going out, even they're going out for 5 minutes, you got to dress them up. Okay? They can't look like they're in their fucking pajamas, all right? My kids are not walking around town looking like they're in their pajamas or sportswear unless they're actually going to play a sport, okay? That's not me, okay? And that's not what I want for my children. When they grow up, they can do whatever they want. They want to go out looking like assholes, wearing shorts and flip-flops and whatever. That's their prerogative. But whilst they're kids, my prerogative as a father, my choice as a dad, is to teach my kids to dress well, how to dress, okay? Why are we dressing this way? What's the reason? What's the point? I can go through all of those, and I will soon, maybe. But understand that before you bark at me, saying that you should just let kids be, okay? I have made a career. I have made a career in adults coming to me day after day from around the globe saying, sir, boy, man, Mr., hello, Roshan, I'm clueless about what I should wear and when, and I need your help, okay? These are people in their late teens, throughout their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, okay? And I started working 26 years ago as a 23-year-old, and everybody has asked me, I'm absolutely clueless as to how I should dress, okay? And that's why I'm successful as well. I've said that to you guys so many times, you know, like Neo in the Matrix, I just see it all. That's why people trust me implicitly. And I've said to you always, forget the videos, forget the crazy video, forget everything. I'm nothing without my clients. Because I don't sell a product that you can see. I create a product based on a conversation that we've had. And the end game is bringing my client's vision to life. And that's why my clients love me. That's why my clients keep coming back. That's why my clients pay me the big bucks. And that's why I get new clients at my door every day. Okay? So if my clients are coming to me throughout my career, okay, showing up at my door day after day after day, okay, telling me that they have no dress sense or they're not sure, whatever, why would I not teach my kids at a young age how to dress well? Why would I not give them that injection to keep them always ahead of the curve? And if my business is thriving, why wouldn't I want them to learn about dressing? I mean, think about it. People criticize me because my kids are all done up. You know, Saria, she takes her hair and makeup and her outfit so serious and is so independent, and I love it, okay? So her mum is always obviously a makeup artist, right? She's got this beautiful, large, rectangular mirror that she uses. It's like old school, right? Like a Marilyn Monroe mirror. And it's got these boom, 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 old school light bulbs all around it, okay? People my age and older can imagine what this is. People younger, there's no hope for you, I promise you. I mean, you're so hate-filled, it's ridiculous, okay? And it is such a joy to watch Saria doing herself up. And of course, she has the luxury of every designer bag there is. Why? How long have I been married, right? 19 years? How many bags do you think my wife has from every brand? Okay. So obviously I have 2 daughters. So obviously when they started going out and stuff, yeah, I bought them a bag from Diesel. I bought them bags from Marc Jacobs. Initially, I bought them bags from Balmain. All decent brands. Maybe I bought them bags from Coach. But then I told my wife, I said, baby, you have so many fucking bags. You know what I mean? From the biggest brands of all, right? Why don't you let the girls use it? She's like, why? I'm like, why? Because they're your fucking daughters. One, they're your daughters. Why wouldn't you let your daughters use them? Two, you have a ton of bags that we've accumulated over 19 years, right? Three, you're not using all the bags. Four, some of the bags you haven't used in over a decade, right? Dig them all out. And this is a constant discussion with me and my wife. I was like, I know I bought you this and this year, and I know I bought you that and that. You take it out, take it out. If you're not using, give it to the girls, give it to the girls. Let's get it cleaned up. So we sent all these old bags to Jeeves that my wife hadn't used in a long time. We got Jeeves to clean them all up. Cost me a fucking fortune, okay? And now my daughters, when they go out, have a pick of gorgeous designer vintage bags. I tell my wife, you don't need to let them use the old bags, the new bags, but use the old bags. That you don't let them use the old bags that they're not using. I mean, the Dior saddlebags that I bought my wife. I mean, they're fucking vintage. One is from 2006. One is from 2005. One is from 2006. One is from when I got engaged. One is from when I got married. I think it was that. Or one is from 2000. Or both are from 2005. I don't remember. Something like that. Okay. So my daughters, they walk out head to toe in branded stuff, amazing makeup, absolutely the best. So does my son. I've told you before, right? I'll say it again, that you bring children into this world, you have a responsibility to them. Otherwise, don't bring them into this world, okay? And stuff. And don't judge me on how I teach my children to dress. I have every right to teach my kids what I want to teach my children. And I want my children to look great, okay? Because they're not only a representation of me, they're not only a representation of my business, which is globally famous. They're not only a representation of my family, which is a long, storied, gloried heritage and legacy here in Hong Kong. They're a representation of themselves, because everybody knows them, because everybody knows they're Roshan and Saloni's children, okay? Whether they know them as Roshan's kids, Sam's Taylor kids, Saloni's kids, whatever it is. My wife has done a ton of community work, okay? Once the kids were past being toddlers and stuff, okay? So she's very well known in the community. Of course, she's born and raised in Hong Kong as well. So they're a great representation of themselves. And this is armory as well as education, okay? This is armory as well as education. You educate them how to dress, how to look after themselves, okay? You give them armory so that they look good. But you educate them even more, because then the haters and the naysayers will say, why are these kids dressed up, this, that, that, that. They will learn to deal with it young and swat it away. Okay? And Tucker. Chris, you there, buddy? If you're there, give me a hi. It's my cousin in Dallas. They will learn to swat it away. Okay? We teach them class. We educate them on how to be classy. And that's it. And this has nothing to do with snobbery or a class system, okay? Bring on the castigation, okay? And you know what I will tell you in return? There in Hong Kong, there are lines around outside Louis Vuitton and Chanel. You don't know about this? Go on YouTube and see, okay? So this is one aspect of how we try to educate our children. We don't do it in tandem. She does what she has to do. I stay out the fuck out of it. And I always tell her, whatever I do with my kids, you please don't teach me how to parent. Okay, there's one thing I snap at it about. I said, you're doing it again. Please don't teach me how to parent. Okay, there's no fucking book on parenting. Okay, there's 1,000 books on parenting. If there's one book, we can all follow that book. There's 10,000 books everywhere. Let me parent the way I want to parent. And that's it. And stuff. And I'm sharing with you the evolution of my children. You saw Serena's evolution until she was about 11 or 12. She shot so many videos with me. It's sad that you don't see her now. I feel very sad. Okay, she doesn't even come to lunch or dinner with us. I feel very sad. I miss my daughter. Okay? But it is what it is, right? Every child is different. So we went out last night for dinner to a beautiful fucking place. I can't even tell you how good it was. Okay? And I took a couple out. They're my long-standing clients, and they come to Hong Kong every 6 months. And so they dropped 9,000 US, okay, with me. And the last time they were in town, maybe in April, I took them for lunch. And I took this old man. So this guy's 57. His girl is 40-something, probably younger than me. Really beautiful Costa Rican woman. The guy is Venezuelan. And then an American client came to town. He dropped 25,000 US. And when I say $7,000, I'm talking your currency, 7,000 US. And when I say 25 grand, he dropped 200,000 Hong Kong with me, 25,000 US. She dropped 200,000 Hong Kong with me on clothes. The couple dropped 70,000 Hong Kong with me on clothes. So I took these three people to dinner. They don't know each other, right? The couple, and then this old man, he's about 76. And I took them with Saloni, Sari, and Rian. I took them to the most amazing fucking place with the most beautiful view, expensive fucking place. And I told my buddy who runs the place, I said, listen, bro, I don't want a private room and I don't want a window table. Okay, you build a table for me so the 7 of us can sit in the center of your restaurant. He literally put a table there, a dummy table there. And we had such a glorious meal. And I took Sari and Rian and they dressed up so well. And on tomorrow morning, I will post a carousel with photos. So you can see photos from my weekend, me with the American Consul General, me with my clients at dinner last night, me and my family, and whatever photos that we take today. Lisa, Danielle, I empower you, okay? And the kids were so well dressed. Rian was wearing a Sandro denim jacket, okay, and I think he was wearing Armani jeans or something, and these glorious Armani sneakers. Saria, what a top, what a skirt with beautiful boots. I'm not sure. I think she took her Balmain bag last night, and Saloni was wearing a beautiful dress, and she took her Loewe bag, and I mean, we just look amazing as a family. I look like a dick, right? Everyone says I look like a dick. So, okay, I look like a dick. It's okay. But my kids look so good. They look so fucking good, right? And, you know, I'm fucking proud. And why shouldn't I be proud? I work in the clothing business. And I work in and live in one of the fashion capitals of the world. To have gotten there to educate my children. I'm not picking their clothes out for them. I've talked to them enough about this over the past year or so. I've bought them enough, I've provided them with enough armory over the years and stuff, and they understand things. And for me to see what they pick out now and put together, I'm not dressing them anymore. They're in their rooms, spending 10 minutes, 20 minutes there. Rihanna's very quick. Sorry, it takes longer, deciding what to wear. Rihanna gels his hair, only for the weekends, okay? Saria does up her face and her hair and stuff. And to see them do this stuff and take interest in it, you know, considering that I work in the fashion business and men and women of all ages, of all skin colors, of all creeds, faiths, you name it, from every country that come to shop with me every day to see my kids' journey is incredible. And I want to share more of this with you, okay? And I should have done a single shot of Rihanna just last night and stuff, but I didn't. But I think from now on, I'm going to try and share more of this with you. Now, I did before, and I'm going to be very honest with you. This chat is for me to be honest and stuff, right? So I did before, and, you know, I did great videos with Sari, you know, showing off outfits, and I did great videos with Rihanna showing off outfits. A lot of Rihanna videos, a lot of views, a lot of love, a lot of hate. Fewer Sari videos, tremendous amount of views. People saying that I'm whoring off my daughter. I mean, it was sick, right? And stuff. So I was like, you know, let's just hold back for a bit on Sarah. But now I'm ready to come out in full force, if she lets me, okay? And she's a stunning girl. I mean, I have beautiful, beautiful children. It is just brilliant. You know, I went to a cocktail reception last Wednesday night. It's about 10 days ago, right? For an HSBC cocktail reception. So I have a big private banking account with them. Not really a big one compared to the other people in Hong Kong. Probably the smallest compared to other people in Hong Kong, right? I always tell you, I just scrape into that high category. But also my commercial banking, right? My credit cards, checkbook, deposits with HSBC. So they invited us to this cocktail and stuff. I really didn't want to go. And I'm only going because I'm accompanying my father, right? Because it's not safe for him to be on his own in public. Because anything can happen at his age. And I had a guy come up to me who's probably my age, and his kids are older than me, right? Guy called Rohit. I've never met him before. He works for the bank. He said he's been in Hong Kong working for HSBC for 18 years. And he said, bro, I love your videos. I was like, amazing. This guy's like my age, 2 kids. His 2 kids go to the sister school of my children. I have some kid, 20-something-year-old banker from Kuala Lumpur, grab me and say, I love your videos. I said, why don't you come buy a suit from me? He said, I have another dealer. Okay, fuck off. All right. I had some kid who's my former buddy of mine's son, and he comes up to me and he goes, Unc, I love your videos, and so forth. And as I was leaving, I have this adult male whose wife is very nice looking, whose wife grew up in Hong Kong and stuff, but he said he's been here for 20 years, and he's 50-something years old, and his kids are grown, in college or out of college. And he introduced himself to me. I can't remember his fucking name. He introduced his wife to me. I was like, your wife's a babe, in my mind. The way she looked at me as though either I'm a freak, pedophile, crazy motherfucker, whatever the fuck it is, or in awe. Hey, that's that famous guy. I mean, she gave me the look and stuff. It wasn't a pretty look, and he was like, I love your videos and stuff, this, that. Now I really want to sit and chat with him. My dad was already elevated to go, but this was a nice guy that I really want to chat with and stuff. So that was very, very interesting for me. And, it goes back to saying that, they could all four be lying, and the other 1,000 people in the room could all hate me. But nobody said anything to me, right? Nobody ever comes up to me and says, hey, I hate you and I hate your videos and so forth. And the packaged hate people in my life, I've already shed. And so forth. I don't know if we touched on Kevin Spacey. I told you the whole Kevin Spacey story last week, which was a brilliant story. And this week I tried at the start of the week to keep an eye on which videos crossed 1 million. I saw many hitting the 0.800,000 mark and the 0.900,000 mark, and I've been so busy this week with clients that I didn't really log any of that week, so I don't have anything to tell you on that. I want to say a couple of other things, all right? I'll talk about the United States, maybe I won't bother talking about them today. There was one thing that I wanted to say. Yeah. I want to remind you that this past summer, when I was in London, and last year, did I talk about this last week? And the year before when I was in Dallas, right? I have set up satellite ateliers there, okay? So if you live in London, and if you live in Dallas, and let me reiterate this. This summer, 2025, and last summer, 2024. This summer, 2025, I went to London. Last summer, 2024, I went to Dallas, okay? And I've set up satellite offices in these two cities, okay? These offices are running their own tailoring business, okay? And they're running their own successful tailoring business, all right? But they are willing to service you and provide you with all my signature details and gift wrap you in my 4D fit if you are not comfortable sending your measurements through me, through the measurement chart on my website, like everybody does all day, every day from around the world, and working with me virtually, okay? So there's an option for you if you live in Dallas, and there's an option for you to live in London to meet with one of my very dear friends that I trust wholeheartedly and purchase an incredible suit from them, okay? If you want that to happen, you need to email me, and I will connect you with them. And remember, we have a no browsing policy, okay? That may not go down with you, especially Westerners. We tell people as well, when they come to the shop, you want to buy something? No, just looking? Please get out. Okay, the shop is too busy. We need to take off our clients, okay? Okay, we're not a museum. Come look at the wall, see all the photos of the presidents and the movie stars and all that stuff. Not interested. That's for our clients, okay? All right? There's limited space. We live in Hong Kong, okay? So, if you're in Dallas, if you're in London, and you're serious about buying a suit, and the suit starts at 1,000 sterling, right? I can set up appointments with you, but you need to go there with 1,000 sterling ready to buy. Otherwise, forget about it, okay? You can, of course, send me your measurements to the measurement chart on my website, and then I can make you something amazing. I'm going to open a shop in Saudi, watch, all right? Watch your space. There's also the option that, which I say all the time, for me to send a representative from Hong Kong to any major city across the United States, Canada, Europe, and Australia. Same thing. You've got to email me. I'll connect you with the rep. The rep will make an appointment with you, okay? The suit would start at 1,000 sterling, okay? But you can't meet this rep. He cannot fly. The suit will start at 1,000 sterling. You cannot meet with this rep and not buy. Do you understand what I'm saying? There's no browsing here, okay? You want to browse? Look at my Insta. There's 10,600 videos of fucking suits. Okay? If the suits that we make on my Insta do not entice you, then there's no need to come to see us. There's no need to come and meet us in London, in Dallas, and in every major city across the United States, Canada, Europe, and Australia. There's no reason to meet us, okay? To come to browse. But if you want an amazing suit, lock in, send us payment, and we are so yours. We are so yours. And that's pretty much it. You know what I mean? We are so yours. Some people that walk into my store are just not interested in exploring and building relationships with me. Okay? I meet so many new people every day. I always wonder about the clients that are guarded. I ask them questions, even post-sale, okay? Trying to break the ice, trying to create dialogue, trying to create acquaintance, possibly friendship. But they still remain closed up. I'm immaculately dressed always, and extremely well spoken. Okay, I'm immaculately dressed, and I'm extremely well spoken. Sorry about this, yeah? So I don't understand why they remain so guarded, and I'm not mistaking it for shyness, all right? If you open yourself up to me and tell me who you are, you don't have to say that you work for KPMG, okay? You can say I work for Big Four accounting, Big Four consulting firm. You don't have to say that you work for Goldman Sachs. You just say, I work for one of the big investment banks, right? Tell me what industry you're in, and tell me your age. You don't even need to tell me your job title, okay? Just tell me what industry you're in, what role you play, and tell me your age. I already know what work culture you are in, and I already know how to fucking give you boom. And if you don't believe, it's okay, right? Because I'll tell you why. I live streamed for 3 years during fucking COVID, okay? I live streamed for 3 years during COVID, and I got 50,000, 60,000, 70,000, 100,000 views on each of these streams. And that's only counting the Instagram views, okay? And everybody saw the questions that I asked the people on the video screen, okay? And how I broke it down and knew immediately what to make them and how much they saw yes. And that was the birth of the suit whisperer, you know, the hashtag suit whisperer. That was the birth of the hashtag suit whisperer. Going back to the front, I met the new Consul General of the United States to Hong Kong, and so good for me is something that this is what she shared with me, okay? She said that in the United States, in the office that she works from, they believe that Hong Kong is no longer autonomous from China, which I've been telling you forever is not true, okay? And she believes that as well to a certain extent. And she has come here saying to herself that she's going to try and do her best to convince her government, that's the United States government, that no, it's not true. Hong Kong does have a certain level of autonomy. Hong Kong does have a broad level of autonomy, okay, from mainland China. And that was just music to my ears. So, I really hope, I know she's being truthful, okay? There's no reason for her to say it to me, right? I'm a nobody, okay? So to have a representative like that from the greatest country on the planet, the United States, coming to my city, I found it my moral obligation, my civic obligation, to strike a relationship with her, okay? But I have no moral obligation to Western battles, okay? You don't think that I feel bad about people suffering, okay? So many of you talk about Ukraine and Palestine and stuff. What about Sudan, right? There was nothing on that. Look, I see pain and suffering everywhere, and it hurts me, right? But I cannot give all my money suddenly to them. I have to feed my family, okay? Okay? The moral obligation I have is to my family. I feel your pain and I feel your anger, all right? But if you want to go out and protest and whatever, I can't do stuff like that. I don't believe that this protest shit works, okay? That's just not me, okay? Maybe it works in your country, but it doesn't work in mine, all right? I also don't believe in it, okay? I spoke once to a group of youngsters in their early 20s here in Hong Kong. And very soon after that, I gave an interview to a Chinese media channel. I can't remember. So I think it was in 2019, 2020, 2018. And the message that I gave to both was that if you don't like the system, then don't battle it from the outside. It's a lot harder. Join the system, work for the system, and try to change it from the inside. And that's the truth. And this is probably JFK said something like this, or someone of his stature. You know what I mean? It's not like a line that I made up, right? You can call it infiltrate. You can say that you're a fucking mole, whatever it is. But protesting on the outside, I feel in general, is doesn't work. Okay? I would much rather people join the system, if they have a great belief in the country that they live in, the government that they live in, the way they want their city to be, the way they want their state to be, the way they want their country to be, join the system and work from within the system. Okay? So I have no moral obligation to Western battles. Okay? If I don't see to your standpoint, right, it doesn't make me any less of a person. All right? And that's pretty much it. I have a moral obligation only to my family. I brought my family into this world. I need to take care of my father. I need to take care of my uncle. I need to take care of my children. I need to take care of my wife. I need to make sure I have enough money to take care of my father and uncle when they cannot work anymore. I need to make sure that I have money to get my children married, pay for their college education, to set them up. I need money to take care of me and my wife when we retire. I mean, this is huge responsibility for me. And I'm just saying my father and uncle, I got to take care of their wives as well. A lot is on my head. I have no moral obligation to any Western battles. If I don't see to your standpoint, it doesn't make me any less of a person. You can say whatever you want, okay? I have no time to protest. I have no time to leave work and try and make a fucking fool of myself, okay? Honestly, I have a moral obligation to China because I live here. This is my home. And I believe in power and proximity. I've said that to you always, okay? I have a moral obligation to India because I'm Indian. I mean, even though I'm born in Hong Kong and I have a British passport, I still have a moral obligation to India. I don't know how to explain it. I'm Indian, okay? I've always said that. And I have a moral obligation to the United Kingdom as I'm a citizen, okay? And, I love London and I love the fact that I have a British passport. I could apply for American passport, Australian passport, Canadian passport, New Zealand passport. It would have worked out and stuff. I could apply for Indian passport. But no, I chose to apply for British passport. I'm so happy I have British citizenship. And I have a moral obligation to them. But I don't have a moral obligation to anything else. Okay? All right? And you can judge me how you want on that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't believe generally, I don't believe in sanctions diplomacy. It's not worked with Russia. It's worked to an extent with Iran, but they hate the West. Right? You know what I'm saying? Cathay Pacific now wants to ban, United States now wants to ban Cathay Pacific and China Airlines from flying over Russian space. You know what I mean? I don't like, forcing other countries into fighting for their battle. I don't like countries forcing other countries to fight their battles. You know what I mean? I don't like the United States forcing India to not buy Russian oil. I don't like the United States interfering with just everybody, being a bully and stuff. Okay? I feel, I wonder why does this administration have to be so hard on everyone and bully everyone? Can someone give me a short, simple, non-biased answer? And, it's even like ships as well that come in and telecoms companies. You know what I mean? They're just trying to screw us here in China and stuff. But it is what it is. But it doesn't make me a U.S. hater at all. I love the United States. I went to NYU. The overwhelming majority of my clients are American. I just cannot fathom this government and so forth. But I'm not going to protest against them or say anything disparaging about them. I'm just talking off the top of my head that I feel shitty, right? And I feel bullied by the U.S. government as a person living in China. I feel shitty and I feel bullied by the U.S. government, and I wonder why they like that. But I hope it will change. I really do. I've lived in a time where we've had remarkable relationship between China and the United States. And I hope this will change. So I think I'm done talking. And if you have any questions, I've spoken to you guys now. I call it the Watchman'S Hour. And I've spoken for 63 minutes. So if you have questions, like genuine questions, I'll take them. Just ask me questions. You don't have to reinforce anything that I have to say. And if you don't ask me questions, then I will go. So this is the last chance. I'm not going to sit here waiting for questions. I'm Indian. Yes, I have a British passport. I live in Hong Kong. I was born in Hong Kong. Hong Kong is a city in China. With all of you watching, even if half of you used to ask a question, we would have a great conversation. What do I think of the United Kingdom? I think London is a beautiful city. I really, really enjoy it. I don't know much more about the United Kingdom. Well, Lisa, I hope you come to Hong Kong. My shoe size is 13, completely irrelevant to what we're talking about. I am wearing a Philip Klein shirt today. I'm wearing a Diesel belt. I'm wearing True Religion jeans. And I'm wearing my fucking pink Nikes. Okay? And I'm wearing my glasses from Regards. They're one-of-ones through the new Black Optical. I love the suits that I made for Tom Segura. I love the fact that I'm a friend of Tom Segura. I've never thought about going bald, ever. Oh, you see, London has too many foreigners. I took this couple and my other client out for dinner last night, and we went to one of the most beautiful restaurants in Hong Kong. And if you look around, right, you have every color. You have brown, you have white. There were so many black people. I haven't seen that in Hong Kong, okay, before. All dressed classy. There was only two random white guys in shorts, and I couldn't believe it. They were like dress shorts, and I was like, it's Saturday night. And stuff, but everybody was dressed. I love Hong Kong. I really love Hong Kong. You know what I mean? I love the places that I go. I really love the places that I go. Thank you for the love on my Philippine shirt. If you want me to fly to a city, you have to make arrangements for me. So if it's me personally coming, then you need to send me 2 business class tickets at least. That's me and my wife, and put me up in a Ritz-Carlton suite. And then I'm yours, right? You tell me what work you want me to do and stuff. And if you want the family to come along because you want content with that, then 5 business class seats, or we could do 2 business class seats, convince the kids to sit in premium economy. The kids can share one room, regular room. I need a suite and stuff. But there's no use asking me when I'm going to come. You need to make me come there, right? That's how it works. That's how my trips work. Okay, so let me shut down Instagram first. If you want to ask questions, you can jump onto TikTok and you can jump onto YouTube. I speak English. Here at Sam's Tailor, we can serve you in Cantonese, we can serve you in English, Hindi, Sindhi, Nepali, Tagalog, and Punjabi. I said Putonghua as well? I don't understand. Rulis, you want to pay me $5,000 to come to Chicago? Okay. So you have to send me $5,000 now. What would you like me to do there? Why don't you send me an email outlining stuff, right? Or you could just order a suit from me by mail. My TikTok is Sam's Tailor, right? You could just order a suit from me by mail. So, buddy, it's Sunday here, Sunday morning. I'm going to take my kids out for lunch now, right? I'm the watchman here and stuff. The cleaning crew is outside. My dad insists on me being here. I'm not wearing a suit on Sundays. I'm not, my email is, you can find it on the website. There's a contact form there. I appreciate your love for my Philippine t-shirt, Danielle. I think you've seen me wear it before a number of times, right? I can't remember when I bought this. I think I bought it from one of my birthdays a few years ago when I had a big birthday party. I think that was my last big birthday party, my second last big birthday party. I was born and raised in Hong Kong. I don't know what the misdemeanors of the Chinese government are. You know what I mean? I'm living here and I'm very happy. Wear a suit from me, Darcy. I'll make you an amazing suit. Send me your measurements from the measurement chart on my website and I'll make you something amazing. And that's pretty much it. I design the suits, I sell the suits, I cut the suits, I build the suits. Okay, let me shut down Insta first. Guy's not saying anything. TikTok, you can jump on TikTok, YouTube, I'll stay with you for a bit.